I want to share a little bit of this drama with the new Algorand CTO. It is Nick Bougalis, who came from XRP. I thought it was a pretty good get. I still think that some people didn't like his comments about X recently. I kind of think it's a nothing burger, frankly, but I do think it's worth discussing about why I think it's a nothing burger. So why don't we just dive in here? So I came across this and it said, someone get Nick Bougalis some PR training, absolute disaster class. How smart people are so dumb will never cease to amaze me. And it kind of goes back to here. So let's go all the way to the beginning. Nick had tweeted, I'm not sure why, but X simply refuses to show me the invite to join the Algorand Foundation organization. Seems really strange to me. Like, why shouldn't he be able to join? He's part of the Algorand Foundation. He should be covered under their umbrella. It makes sense. Now I have an Alpha Arcade badge, and they can extend you a badge if you like, and that's not super. That's like $50 a month for them, and it gives you some more reach. So it was nice of them to do that, I suppose. Well, it was. I mean, yeah. Anyway, Simon, who's a Cosmic Champs guy, said, God forbid you pay for a service that you use daily from 2008, as that would allow your account to have a wider reach and help promote Algorand more. I hope the ideology convictions don't play a role in business decisions also. I do want to point out, I don't know that Nick is necessarily making business decisions as much as he's making technology decisions, but we're going to get to that when I kind of go to the broader ecosystem here. Twitter gets plenty of value from my use of the platform they provide, not because they're nice, but because their business model is based on users and their data being the product. Hope this helps. Simon said, not having verified X reduces your reach in discussions. Your comments are prioritized lower. And for an example, a great point made by Algorand Foundation CTO on a relevant topic that gets lost under tons of low quality accounts. For me, that's significant when Algo struggles with exposure. Yeah, I'm going to address that in a second. It says, that's a fair point. Honestly, I don't think a blue check mark is the missing piece to that problem, or that paying a monthly fee is the solution. I kind of agree with that. Any insightful comments I can make here, I can, if necessary, be amplified by the foundation, which I just think that should be covered by the foundation. It's mostly going to be benefiting their workflow. I mean, I can see the point of having your own anyway, and as I said, I find Twitter not to be a useful medium for the kind of content that is, in my opinion, relevant for us. Brevity may be the soul of wit, but it's also not conducive to meaningful, nuanced conversations or communicating complex topics in depth. I don't know if I agree with that. By the way, I see a check mark now. So the little check mark thing apparently has been resolved. He must have changed his mind. Elder Reno said, I think if you pay, you also don't have the same character limit. Might make more sense for a representative of a large org to go outside and fork over the $15 or whatever. People keep thinking it's about the dollar amount. He gets mad about virtual signaling, this whole thing. Yeah, it just kind of went out of control. But it looks like he did actually now pay for the check mark. And he didn't, doesn't look like he said anything about, okay, I got the check mark, whatever. So he does have the check mark now. But the main point I want to make is I think people thought it was like very normal to have the chief technology officer be a very front-facing person because John Allen Woods was. I think most of the time that's not the case. Most of the time, you're really not going to have your chief technology officer being like the PR person. So the idea that he should have PR training, I think is a little weird actually, because I think, I don't think Nick is really hired for that. I think he's hired to build the chain behind the scenes. It just happened that John Allen Woods happened to be a very charismatic person as well as a very technically gifted person. And so he was able to do both roles, especially since I think a lot of people realize that maybe Stacey Warden isn't the best front-facing person for the foundation. She tends to, kind of have rubbed people the wrong way. I think that's pretty clear. And, I just think when we think about this stuff, X isn't real life. We got to stop worrying about X so much. Like, listen, it's fun. It's nice to build an audience on there. It's nice to have a place to kind of express yourself. But if you think like the foundation's CTO tweeting on X is going to save Algorand, I got news for you. I just don't think that's going to happen. So anyway, that's my thought on the situation. I thought it was just a little interesting point of discussion. Again, apologies for the videos over the weekend. I don't know what happened, why the frame rate was so low through a lot of that. So I apologize for that. But I hope everyone's doing well out there. It's nice to see the prices going in the correct direction a little bit today. So that's positive. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good day out there. Hope you're staying safe and minding your crypto well. Otherwise, I'm Frugal BC, and I will see you in the future.